Have you ever felt like giving up when nothing you try seems to work? This is the story of a prince who faced a terrible ogre. Every weapon he used failed, but his courage did not. He kept trying and found his greatest strength within. Pañcāvudha Jataka, Prince 5 Weapons. Once upon a time, a queen had a baby boy. His parents named him Prince Pañcāvudha, which means Prince 5 Weapons. On the day the prince was named, many wise teachers came to see him. They looked at the baby prince and saw signs of a great future. They said, "This child will grow up to be a mighty king. He will be brave, wise, and good. He will be famous for his skill with 5 weapons." The king and queen were very happy. The prince grew strong and clever. When he was 16 years old, his father said, "My son, it is time for you to go and study." The prince asked, "Father, who will teach me?" His father answered, "Go to a famous teacher in a faraway city. Learn well and return when your training is done." The prince began his long journey. He traveled far from home to study with a great teacher. The teacher taught him many things. The prince learned with care and respect. At last, the prince finished his studies. Before he left, his teacher gave him 5 weapons. He gave him a bow and arrows. He gave him a sword. He gave him a spear. He gave him a club. He gave him an axe. With these 5 weapons, the prince began his journey home. The road home led through a deep forest. The trees were tall. The shadows were dark. People knew that a dangerous ogre lived there. At the edge of the forest, some travelers saw the prince. They rushed to stop him. "Young prince," they said, "do not go into that forest." The prince asked, "Why not?" They said, "A terrible ogre lives there. He catches everyone he meets. No traveler is safe." The prince listened carefully, but he did not turn back. He stood as brave as a lion. Then the prince walked into the forest. Deep in the forest, the ogre appeared. He was huge, as tall as a palm tree. His head was big. His eyes were wide. His tusks were sharp. His body looked strange and frightening. The ogre shouted, "Where are you going?" "Stop. You are my prey." The prince stood firm. He said, "Ogre, I knew there was danger when I entered this forest. Do not come near me. I have arrows, and I will stop you where you stand." Then the prince took out his bow. He placed a poisoned arrow on the string. He aimed at the ogre. The prince shot the arrow. But the arrow did not hurt the ogre. It stuck in the ogre's thick, shaggy hair. The prince shot another arrow. Then another. He shot 50 arrows, but every one of them only stuck in the ogre's hair. The ogre shook his body, and the arrows fell to the ground. Then the ogre stepped closer. The prince did not run. He drew his sword and cried, "Ogre, I am not afraid." He struck the ogre with the sword. But the sword did not cut the ogre. It stuck fast in the ogre's thick hair. The prince pulled, but the sword would not come free. Next, the prince took his spear. He threw it with all his strength. The spear flew straight at the ogre, but it also stuck in the ogre's shaggy hair. The ogre, was still not hurt. The prince picked up his club. He swung it hard at the ogre. The club struck the ogre. But just like the arrows, the sword and the spear, the club stuck fast in the ogre's hair. Now the prince's sword, spear, and club were trapped. The prince shouted, "Ogre, you have never heard of me. I am Prince Pañcāvudha, the Prince of 5 Weapons. When I entered this forest, I did not trust only my bow, my sword, my spear, my club, or my axe. I trusted myself." Then the prince raised his right hand. The prince struck the ogre with his right hand, but his hand stuck fast in the ogre's hair. Then he struck with his left hand. That hand stuck too. Now both of the prince's hands were trapped. Still, he was not afraid. The prince kicked the ogre with his right foot. His right foot stuck fast. Then he kicked with his left foot. His left foot stuck too. Now both hands and both feet were caught in the ogre's hair. The prince could not move, but his heart stayed brave. The prince shouted again, "I will still defeat you." Then he struck the ogre with his head, but his head also stuck fast. Now the prince was caught in 5 ways, both hands, both feet, and his head. He hung there on the ogre's body. Yet he did not tremble. The ogre stared at the prince. He thought, "This young man is like a lion. He is not like other people. He is caught by an ogre like me, but he shows no fear. I have caught many travelers, but I have never seen anyone like him." The ogre was puzzled. Then he asked, "Young prince, why are you not afraid of death?" The prince answered, "Why should I be afraid? Everyone who is born must one day die. But inside me is my strongest weapon, the unbreakable sword of wisdom. If you try to harm me, your own cruel action will harm you too. That is why I am not afraid." The ogre thought, "This prince speaks the truth. He is a true hero. I could not digest even a tiny piece of such a brave and wise person." The ogre was afraid for his life. Then he said, "Young prince, you are a lion among men. I will not eat you. Go free from my hands, like the moon coming out from darkness. Return to your family, your friends, and your people. Make their hearts happy again." Then the ogre let the prince go. The prince was free. But he did not simply run away. He looked at the ogre with kindness and seriousness. He said, "Ogre, I will go. But first, listen to me. You have become an ogre because of bad actions in the past. You have hurt living beings. You have frightened travelers. You have done cruel things. If you keep doing evil, you will go from darkness to deeper darkness." The prince said, "To kill living beings brings suffering. It can lead to a painful rebirth in hell. It can lead to life as an animal, a ghost, or a being full of sorrow. And even if one is born again as a human, killing can make life short and full of fear." The ogre listened quietly. The prince's words entered his heart. Then the prince taught him about good actions. He said, "When a person stops doing harm, peace begins. When a person is kind, honest, and careful, goodness grows. Good actions bring happiness. Good actions lead away from darkness and toward light. The ogre began to understand. The prince taught the ogre the 5 precepts. He said, "Do not kill. Do not steal. Do not lie. Do not behave badly. And do not lose control of your mind. These are the 5 precepts. Keep them well, and your heart will become better." The ogre bowed his head. The ogre was no longer proud and cruel. He felt shame for the harm he had done. He wanted to change. He said, "Prince, I will listen to your teaching. I will stop hurting travelers. I will keep the 5 precepts. I will guard this forest instead of making people afraid." The prince was pleased. The prince continued his journey. At last, he returned to his parents. They were happy to see him safe. The prince had come home with his 5 weapons. But his greatest weapon was not his bow, sword, spear, club, axe, or body. His greatest weapon was wisdom. In time, the prince became king. He ruled with kindness and justice. He gave to others. He helped his people. He did many good works. Moral: life does not last forever, so we should not waste it in fear. When hardship comes, keep your heart brave, keep your mind wise, and keep doing what is right. In those days, Angulimala was the ogre, and Prince Pañcāvudha was the Buddha. Have you ever faced a time when everything you tried seemed to fail, but you still found the courage to keep going? Share your story in the comments, and if this tale helped you reflect on courage, wisdom, and perseverance, please like, share, and subscribe to Dhammatomo for more Buddhist stories.